Drew Pavlou, or whatever his weird Greek name is the equivalent of Christian. Everybody hates him, and when he tries to join in a new group, he makes an ass of it, just a complete ass out of himself. It's kind of funny because recently Christian got kicked out of a furry con, and this time Drew Pavlou, whatever his name is, gets kicked out from America. So what did this man do? Well, two things. Now, one of them wouldn't matter, really. Like, if he didn't done both at the same time, it probably wouldn't be as bad as it would be. He tried to basically make a joke about Billy Ellis and try to say that, oh, I'm going to go over to your house and I'm going to live there. Now, remember, he doesn't come off as particularly real funny. He's that kind of person where he's trying to get the both sides of the political spectrum. The issue is both people kind of hate him, and it's because he's not that bright. Now, I was looking up his Wikipedia, and I found out he was like born in 1999. And I'm thinking, how the hell you're fucking almost 27 years old, and you look like you're fucking 40? Like, how come you look like that? You act like a teenager. You act like a preteen. The way he behaves is like a preteen. And the second thing he did was something very, really, you know, if it was for the Billy Ellis thing, I think they could have, said, okay, you made a mistake, you written everything up right, you just used the wrong visa. He picked the wrong visa type. I don't know which one he was picking, but he picked the wrong one for his why he was coming to America. But put that together, and our government thought that he was a threat. Now, even though he's technically Greek, they might have thought he was some sort of American threat or terrorist or something, and they kept him in a jail cell for about 30 hours. So this dumb motherfucker couldn't just, I don't know, maybe did his paperwork correctly and maybe not have it where he makes these kind of jokes knowing that he's going to a different country, especially when he knows that there are people who absolutely hate him. See, there was a time where I thought he seemed all right. I think many people thought he was all right. When I first found him, he was actually trying to call out Bad Empanada, this weird Middle Eastern guy who's kind of known for making fucked up jokes about America and, saying that we need jihad and all that to Americans and all that weird shit. And, it's the kind of thing where Drew is, a log cow himself, but the other guy he was going after was worse than him. That's how bad that other guy is. And that just shows you how low it is, knowing that, I would say he actually did a good thing for calling out Bad Empanada. And also he calls out the CCP, which, I agree with that a lot, no matter what. But the issue is his ego gets in the way. He thinks that he knows everything, knowing that, you can say he's still young, but, he's 26 and he should at least know how to do his paperwork with the visa, know what to say correctly, and knowing that his name is connected to what he does and stupid shit he does online, it kind of gives you a lesson if you want to get into politics. And people don't like to hear this, but don't show your face. Keep your real life from your public life separate, and this probably wouldn't happen. But, I almost said Bad Empanada because he's pretty much the equivalent of the center right. I don't know what you call. He's a kind of weird kind of person who's trying to be like, because he's also like pro-Ukraine. But the funny thing is, everybody within the pro-Ukraine sphere now hates him because he's went full MAGA, you could say. He's kind of trying to befriend the conservatives, even though all of them despise him. They call him a non-white. They call him all those words you hear. But he's trying to pretend, no, it's not true. I'm one of the good guys. It's like, no matter what you do, they're gonna always see you as a foreigner. Even in Australia, and a lot of Australians hate him. A lot of people just hate him now. It's that kind of thing where he could have had potential early on, if he just realized you can't play both sides with some of the stuff. Like the pro-Ukraine stuff can't work with the MAGA stuff. That's just a fact. They're too compromised. They're way more pro-Israel than they are pro-Ukraine. They're very pro-Russia as well. They hate Ukraine because they think that it's all like woke and all that, even though technically it's probably the right decision to pick. But they don't understand that. Now, with Bad Empanada, I think he probably joined it because he thought that, this would be good to be helping nationalist countries. But the problem is, MAGA doesn't believe in nationalism. They don't. They threw that away a long time ago. They're isolationist. And your support of MAGA and those, outside of MAGA, and like people who are kind of MAGA, you could say, but not really, like not MAGA in the sense of from America, but like they believe the same tenets for MAGA in their countries. They're laughing at you because you got deported. And because, those two situations at once mixed together, so like mixing ammonia and bleach. You can say it's that. The two separate things. They're perfectly safe, well, if you know what to do. But if you mix it together, you have a whole bunch of issues. And that's what happened. He was basically his K1, His visa was wrong, his work visa, whatever, which one he was trying to get for, and him trying to basically, joke, but it didn't seem like a joke. He seems like a mentally unwell man and a weirdo, and him trying to explain. Well, I was just telling a joke to these people who take their job very seriously because they hear the stuff going on in Australia with all those terror attacks that's going on in Australia, and they're thinking, we don't know if this guy's like a Middle Eastern plant, and we don't know if he's like some weird anti-American terror cell or something. They don't know, so they just went overboard. And now he may not be able to come back in the U.S. And people on both the left and the right are just mocking him, making fun of him, calling it comedic justice. NAFO's making fun of him. They can't stand him. Even I say take off that fucking Ukrainian flag off your name, off your bio or whatever, on Twitter. And it's like, he won't do that because he's like, oh, I'm a nationalist. Like, you think that MAGA will ever believe in what you believe in? No, they hate Ukraine. They hate nationalism. They like a certain type of nationalism. They don't like the actual nationalism that kind of built the West, but they don't understand that. Now, do you even understand what you believe in? No. You're either a grifter or you just don't know any better. And you're in your you are in your late 20s. You should know better than this. That's why I call you. I think people should call you the Chris Chan of politics. Like, people find you annoying, you're insufferable. Fucking seeing that debate with Destiny and with Drew was just the most. It's the funniest thing ever because it's not that hard to really go after Destiny in certain ways, but he went straight for he went straight for the personal attack with his kid and all that. And Destiny just let it spray off him like a duck's ass. And, he was just playing, I think it was Silent Hill music every time he talked because he's not that bright. That's the problem. He's not that bright, It's that kind of shit where, he can say all the intellectual words, but when you actually break it down, you realize he doesn't know what he's talking about. And, he doesn't have enough bite to seem like he can be taken seriously. It's not because he's young, it's just that he's insufferable. He's an insufferable fat boy who thought that the right would accept him. No, they would never accept you. They will always see you as a Australian shill. They'll see you. It's funny because they will see him as like a left-wing Democrat communist or something, and the communists just see a fat, disgusting weirdo chuddy. You can say, I don't believe in calling people chuddies because I think it's kind of stupid at this point because most people embrace the word chud. I think it's funny. They just see him as either a far right person on the left or they see him a far left person. It's that kind of thing where he has both bad sides. Well, not really both bad sides. He has some good sides to him. But it just seems like it's stitched together, not actually cohesive. And it becomes insufferable. And then he does, like, fundraisers that, he got money off of people so he can go to America. And, they're wondering, like, these people who are, like, Border Patrol, wondering why this weirdo is coming over here. And they see his video and thinking, oh, shit, this guy may try something. So they just threw him in a cell for 30 hours and say, fuck you. You need to lose some weight, fatty, basically. And, like with Chris Chan, he may get off because it's his autism or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know how. What gets me the most is knowing that I even said, like, in one of his comments, with his posts on Twitter, I said, how the hell can you fuck up on the wrong visa? Like, I don't understand that. Like, you can look up what visas you look up. I mean, you can find out and say, I'm going here for this. What type of visa I need? And then you do your research. It's basic research. It's not like he fucked up on the visa itself. He just picked the wrong visa. How can you fuck up that easy? Like, did he did it himself? Like, I'm assuming he raised money so he can pay for a lawyer to, do his paperwork, because some people, want to make sure that they can get it right, because, you could do your visa by yourself, but you want to make sure everything's correct. I mean, maybe he did it by himself and thought he was doing everything right. Maybe he did everything right, but he just picked the wrong visa. And, maybe they could have said, all right, you picked the wrong visa, but whatever, we'll fix it later, we'll talk about it later. But then you have, they look into him, it's like, this, they see as a warning sign. And they see you, like, looking kind of Middle Eastern piggy type kind of person from Australia, so they're like, okay, let's look into your profiles and see all this political stuff. And then you have people people calling him saying that he's going to go and hurt Billy Ellis, who was the person that he was trying to say he was going to go over and live. And they're probably thinking, okay, this guy's dangerous. And there you go. Like, those two things made it where it got him in this bad situation. So the only thing I can say is that you're Christian. You're the political version of Chris Chan. Like, how can you be this unlikable? Kraut is making fun of you. Kraut and T, the guy, he's gotten better over time. He moved on from the other stuff, trying to debate, racial politics, but he shouldn't care about that. He should care about actual stuff, but, he understands that now, but it's like Kraut and T, you can easily poke fun at him, but, he just, Drew Pavlou or whatever his name is, you're a joke. and people making fun of you all over Twitter. That's all I can say about him. See ya.